Well, joining us right now is a well-known psephologist, Yashwant Deshmukh, who was with us just the day before counting. And for once, the exit pollsters have got it right. So, Yashwant bhai, firstly, let me congratulate you. You also got your election right today.
Thank you so much. I mean, it's a great sign of relief, right?
I've often, been very, very critical of exit pollsters when the story hasn't gone as per the expectation of the exit pollster. But I guess today is your day, as much as it's the day of the
No, but
BJP.
the thing is that, the stand remains the same, Bhupen, that, exit polls are there to understand the mandate, not
Hmm.
to speculate the number of seats. So my policy decision remains the same, that as far as that exit polling is concerned, we will still keep ourselves out of that rat race of, predicting the seats. I mean, seats to in any case pata lag jati hai next day.
Right.
Important thing is how to explain the mandate, how to understand the mandate, and that's where the data is important. And I'm
Hmm.
glad that it is being used for that now.
Yeah. So let's look at the granularity of what has happened. Question number one, Yashwanji. Would it be fair to say that the reason why the Aam Aadmi Party has lost today in the manner that it has lost is only and only because of the response which was shown by a certain section of Delhi towards the Congress party? Is it as simple? A three-cornered race, Congress cuts into the Aam Aadmi Party vote.
So it's not that simple. I mean, there are few important reasons and few reasons which were last minute induced. I mean, both of them. Number one, that there was a pendulum of almost a one third of Delhi, for which Arvind Kejriwal and Narendra Modi both were heroes. So they were swinging from Lok Sabha to Vidhan Sabha, Vidhan Sabha to Lok Sabha, this way and that way. And this time, that swing did not happen. It just got stuck at one side, and that's where it went wrong for them. Largely because of their impact of Sheesh Mahal controversy and the Liquorgate scandal, which brought down the image of Aam Aadmi Party as the anti-corruption crusader of
Hmm.
sort. And it was the middle class which, from that narrative, was voting to Arvind Kejriwal in 15 and 19 both, 15 and 20 both. But they decided, that middle class decided that, okay, this is no more the party, they are just as good or as bad as any other party. Yes, Aam Aadmi Party and Kejriwal, as we discussed the last time, did create a USP of governance for the aimed at the lower section of the society, the bottom of the pyramid. And not
Hmm.
without a reason, they got 33, 34% vote, 43, 44% votes. That's a rock
Right.
solid vote bank that they have developed. But the problem was they thought that is good enough to win, which was not.
Hmm.
The problem was that they thought that they took middle class for granted, that they are not going anywhere. The
Hmm.
similar way that BJP was taking them for granted, the middle class. BJP on one hand actually played on the pitch of Kejriwal, saying that revenues will be refined further, but they will not be taken back.
Hmm.
But then Nirmala Sitharaman did the unimaginable by predicting the budget, which kind of became a boom boom time for the middle classes. And that middle class, which was sulking, sitting at home, decided to come out and vote. I
Hmm.
guess that turned the table in the most decisive way for the BJP.
But Yashwantji, how does that reconcile with the actual numbers? Because if you look at the voting percentages, the vote percentage was what? The overall votes polled were roughly 2% lower than what had happened in 2025. You
Correct.
look at 14 of the assembly segments this time around, where the Aam Aadmi Party has lost, many of these dominated by middle classes, but the margin of defeat is so small, like Manish Sisodia losing by what, 600 odd votes. The
Right.
Congress polling 7,000 votes. How does then these two theories reconcile with each other then?
Well, Congress and reconciliation of the Congress theory goes with the fact, Bhupin, that Congress used to poll 5, 7, 8% even in the last two elections when Aam Aadmi Party swept the elections. Right.
Hmm. Hmm.
So we are analyzing Congress for a simple fact that in these many seats they polled more votes than the margin of victory.
Hmm.
But the original reason for Aam Aadmi Party's defeat is not that Congress polled those many votes.
Hmm.
Original this reason was that their own vote share dropped by 10%. That's the big thing, you know.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
Aam Aadmi Party cannot blame the Congress that कि इनके vote काटने से हम हार गए.
Hmm.
The basic thing is that the BJP got the vote share enhanced by a significant number from
Hmm.
39 to almost 46. That's a jump of 7% votes.
Hmm.
The party came down from a significant 50% plus votes to 43, 44%.
So
That's a
then,
real
so
drop.
so 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 then explain to you. You were yesterday using the term secular decline. You were saying that there is a secular fall, in the vote share of the Aam Aadmi Party. Do we then say that if the Aam Aadmi Party indeed had managed to stitch an alliance with the Congress Party, would the story still have remained the same?
No, then it might have been a bit different because because arithmetic would have come into the play.
Hmm.
But then, having said that, that would have been a drastic attempt to save their government from, you know, from eventually what happened today.
Hmm.
But for that, then Congress had to do the same, show the same courtesy to Aam Aadmi Party in Haryana.
Hmm.
Who knows if Haryana it would have happened, the BJP would not have been able to form the government in Haryana.
Fair
Right.
enough.
तो
Hmm.
यूं होता तो क्या होता वो बात सही है लेकिन दैट इज नॉट द रीजन फॉर डिबैकल ऑफ आम आदमी पार्टी द
Hmm.
रीजन फॉर डिबैकल ऑफ आम आदमी पार्टी इज द मिडिल क्लास गोइंग अवे the same middle class I remember in 1998 when we were doing the exit poll no TV was there it was for the print media obviously
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
next day headline was the middle class back to the BJP. The
Hmm.
same middle class, 27 years later, is the prime thing which has brought BJP back to power in Delhi.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's the miscalculation of how much damage that middle class could do,
Okay.
And
Hmm.
BJP was smart enough that, okay, on one hand, they did play on the Revdi pitch that, okay, but then they realized if we are going to play on that pitch, we have to finally give something to the middle class. Because
Hmm.
middle class had legit concerns that भैया रेवड़ी तो बांट रहे हो लेकिन बांट कहाँ से रहे हो है तो हमारा पैसा टैक्स तो हम
Hmm.
दे रहे हैं हमको क्या मिल रहा है
Hmm.
so BJP had to balance it out. The moment they balanced it out, it became a winning combination.
Tell me, is there anything you're picking up, Yashwanji? Now, this is the third election since the Lok Sabha election, right? A fourth election. There was Maharashtra. There
Jammu
was
Kashmir,
there's Jammu and Kashmir. There was Haryana.
Haryana,
Now there is
and now
Delhi.
Delhi.
Yeah, and now there's Delhi. Between Haryana, Maharashtra, and Delhi, three states where nobody would have given a chance to the BJP. What is it about the BJP strategy you feel post this kind of a debacle in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, where the BJP is managing to and it's planning?
Well, I joke about this that whenever BJP goes into the crisis, it becomes Buddhist. Sangam Sharanam Gacchami, but
Huh.
in a different Sangam.
Hmm.
So
It's
I
the
think
RSS. It's the RSS factor.
it's the RSS factor. It's just the RSS factor. I mean, you see, the day JP Nadda's statement came in that okay, हमको संघ की जरूरत नहीं है. How many of us actually took a notice that okay, this is odd? Something is not adding up now. But I think the thing that we have to all appreciate about the BJP is how quickly they learn from their mistake.
Hmm.
You know, the moment they realized this is something wrong, Nadda, right after the Lok Sabha election got over, they went back to the RSS and said that, okay, boss, this is not what I meant. You took it wrongly.
Hmm.
And yes, we need the organization. And then there is another thing that happened.
Hmm.
Uh, Modi took a back seat. The most popular face of the BJP just realized that he was being overburned, I mean, overexposed, and it's not helping. And this is what he could do, this much he could do, but he needs to take in the local factors to amplify the
Hmm.
local victories. And
Right.
a person like Modi, who is so immensely popular, for him to take a back seat in order to make sure that his party wins the game, it's a big deal. It's not a small thing for people when they are popular. They have all sort of egos. I mean,
Right.
so that is something for the opposition to take notice and learn the way the meticulous planning they do to the right dot and the precision surgical way of going and winning Delhi. It is the
Are
case
we?
study.
Yeah, are we entering a phase of politics, Yashwanji? And I'm wondering. I was looking at a tweet which was put up by Omar Abdullah today, where he says, "Or lado aapas mein." So here is Omar Abdullah, who ties up with the Congress party. He's got a good relationship going with the Prime Minister and the BJP, and he's in power, right? A Chandrababu Naidu attempted to be away from the BJP, got challenged and came back. So did a Nitish Kumar. Are we now entering a phase of Indian politics where the only thing which is possible is that you can challenge the BJP electorally in an election, but don't challenge the prime minister? Uddhav Thackeray challenges the prime minister, look at where he is. Arvind Kejriwal challenges the prime minister, look at where he is. A KCR, in Telangana attempted to do that with BRS, look at where he is. Is that the lesson that now comes out from Delhi as well? With Arvind Kejriwal also joining this list of making leaders who made the mistake of challenging Modi. Is that a fundamental lesson?
I think that goes without saying that it's not a question of whether you challenge in metaphorically or electorally or in the real terms, but it was a question of one had to concede that Modi is popular.
Hmm.
You know, I mean, you respect him as a prime minister, that he is a popular prime minister. You fight him out on the issues and everything. But the moment you make that fight personal, you go personal after him, it's gonna backfire. It's as simple as that. So that part is taken, I mean, that part is just understood well. I guess that problem of opposition at large has also to do with the contradiction of the fault lines. That the opposition parties, big number of them, including
Hmm.
for that matter, Aam Aadmi Party and even Mamata Banerjee or others, they
Hmm.
have grown after eating the vote bank of the Congress.
Hmm.
And either the Congress accepts the role of a junior or a senior, depending on which state they are playing in, and go for a complete assimilation with the opposition,
Hmm.
or Congress takes a stand that, okay, nothing doing, we are going to be a standalone on our own kind of party.
Hmm.
But whatever decision or strategy they take, they need to stand firm on that strategy.
Right.
One step forward, two step backward is not going to work. Look
Okay.
at Delhi. I mean, Sheila Dikshitji was always very clear. Unless we defeat Aam Aadmi Party, even if the BJP wins, doesn't matter. But we cannot resurrect Congress unless we make sure that Aam Aadmi Party goes for a toss.
Right.
But 4 years, Ajay Makan did hard work, liquor scam and everything. But then they went for a alliance. Now, if you went for an alliance, if that was the strategy, then you should have been graceful enough to offer 5 seats to Aam Aadmi Party in Haryana and then ask for 10 seats in Delhi.
But do you see this as as some kind of a revival of the Congress party at 6%? Still,
Long way.
yeah.
No way. I mean, no. I mean, it could be if they go for a 5 year or 10 year long plan, but look at the 43%, 44% vote that Arvind Kejriwal is getting. Arvind Kejriwal is not going anywhere.
Hmm.
Another thing that be very careful writing political obituaries so soon.
Yeah,
Now,
I agree. I
big stuff
agree with
about
you.
Arvind Kejriwal. Arvind Kejriwal is one hell of a politician emerged in the last 10 years who has actually troubled the BJP.
Hmm.
you know, and that's the fastest to become the national party. They come, won in 2 states, troubled Congress and wiped out Congress. The reason of wiping out Congress from Gujarat. So what I'm simply trying to say, he it's a setback for him. But anybody thinking that it's all over and he's gonna merge in the oblivion, retire,
Not
it's
going to
not
happen. Not going to
not
happen.
gonna happen.
Last question, Yashwanji. In your tracker, right through this exercise, did you at any stage manage to put a finger on the role of the Delhi Lieutenant Governor himself? I've been tweeting about it that the one person who actually is chiefly responsible for creating this trajectory on which the BJP has walked is the Delhi Lieutenant Governor. What about his role? Are Delhiites in his favor? Do they believe he's a troublemaker? He calls himself a disruptor. Who's he?
But it was a non-issue. You see, like
Non-issue.
ceasefire became an issue, and after a time, I said to you that it has stopped bleeding, it was stopped hemorrhaging. And that's why Arvind Kejriwal is still sitting on 44% vote, right? It did
Mhm.
bring down, but after a while it stopped. Similarly, LG, it worked for Kejriwal to move, but after a while it stopped bleeding because of simple reason. People still remember Sheila Dikshit.
Okay.
Fondly remember as the best ever chief minister Delhi ever got. And then
Right.
people also remember when Sheila Ji was chief minister, she was working under the LG, which was appointed by NDA government, Atal Bihari Vajpayee government. She did not ever say anything against LG. So
Okay.
that is something which is important. And another thing,
Hmm.
why focusing the entire governance at the bottom of the pyramid, Arvind Kejriwal forward that and Delhi remains a middle class city. And the
Hmm.
civic structure, the moment they won the MCD election, they had invited big trouble. Because till that point of time, he could easily blame the BJP in MCD for all the civic problems of Delhi. कूड़ा
Right.
नहीं था, गंदा पानी आ रहा है, सीवेज है, जमुना जी गंदी है, एमसीडी और बीजेपी जिम्मेदार है. The moment the MCD came to them, they will realize now in retrospect that ये बड़ी गलती हो गई, एमसीडी न जीतते तो ज्यादा बेहतर था. Because ऑल दीज प्रॉब्लम, सिविक प्रॉब्लम, पानी गंदा आ रहा है, पीने के लायक नहीं है, सांस लेने लायक नहीं है, हवा, सड़क चलने लायक नहीं है, सीवेज बाहर है. You know, if middle class is saying, give the revenue and freebies where you wish to, but at least give me a city which is worth living.
Right.
Now, if that is not getting implemented, you have a problem. And if
Okay.
BJP doesn't work on that, I'm telling you in advance that it will the same kind of fate BJP will meeting 5 years down the lane. So
All right.
BJP has to really work just on the line of Sheila Dikshit on the infrastructural thing and take Delhi as a city back to where it belongs. Not just
Okay.
Delhi, but NCR. As in,
NCR.
now that they are ruling UP, they are ruling Rajasthan, they
Haryana,
are ruling
Rajasthan,
Haryana.
Delhi. Yeah.
They have
You
no
can't run
reason
away.
to say.
You
They
can't
have
run
no
away.
reason to say कि साला ये जो है वहां से जमुना जी में जहर डाल दिया और यहाँ पानी. Nothing doing. Now everything is lies in the BJP. So I hope BJP has a good plan and they do justice to the mandate that has been
Right.
given by Delhi to them.
Okay. Yashwantji, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being a part of this entire journey with us. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.